Howdy y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play of Now Boarding. In the previous episode, we actually fully completed the Southeastern US and started up operations in the Northeastern US in our new hub airport of Chicago, and started to, well, slowly build up our area there. And in this episode, we're going to continue building up our northeastern operations, as well as getting some new planes, and maybe getting a couple of stuff added to our airport. So without further ado, let's continue with the northeast. So she says we need to expand to these Maltese, which, according to the price list, is about $6 grand. We have 10,000 already, so we could expand to that. But we also could invest in some things in the airport. Let's see, the pizza stand is like 12 grand. Snack machine is 4 grand. Walkstar is 14 grand. Bookstore is about 10 grand. Information booth is about 6 grand. Let's just go for another month. And then we'll expand a bit. Alright, we've got 2 passengers for St. Louis and 2 for Cincinnati. Might as well get some of those passengers on those planes right now. Send one down to Atlanta and to pick up 1 passenger bound for Chicago. Let's see, St. Louis has 1 passenger for Cincinnati. Got 2 passengers back at the terminal. We needed to head down to St. Louis. Alright. Go to Cincinnati. Oh! Good! There was some passengers heading towards Chicago. Let's see. Passengers for Cincinnati. Put those on there. Go to Cincinnati, down to Atlanta, then to St. Louis. Get 1 passenger for St. Louis, then down to Atlanta. Alright. Got those passengers taken care of. We need to get 1 down to Atlanta. Go to Cincinnati, then St. Louis. Same for those 2. Send that plane out. Alright, we got 1 passenger in Cincinnati that needs to fly to Atlanta, so we'll take that. Let's see, let's get this plane out to St. Louis and then to Atlanta. Hopefully I can get to that money cloud. Yes, 500 extra dollars. Cincinnati. St. Louis, and then down to Atlanta. Go to Cincinnati, then fly back up. Oh, that airplane has already picked up those Chicago-bound passengers. To Atlanta. Final boarding. No more passengers on the map. Let's get these last few passengers dropped off. There we go. Pretty good, solid month. We got 15 grand now. So let's actually expand to these Maltese to expand our operations. And you know what? Let's also expand to Indianapolis as well. Alright. 2 more airports, we're going to be starting to get a little bit more busy. Passengers are getting bored. A bookstore will help keep them happy for long periods. Yeah, that's where we probably might need to invest in next. But now there's going to be people heading to... Oh! That's good, because this month is the Indy 500, so I actually lucked out. Okay, down to St. Louis, then to Atlanta, then up to Indianapolis. May is going to be a very profitable month for us. Alright. Cincinnati. These Montees. 3 people heading to Indianapolis. And go to these Montees as well. $750. That's good. Bring the plane in. Cincinnati. Oh, hang on. Indianapolis and then Cincinnati. I got a lot of people heading down to Atlanta. Alright. Load those passengers onto this plane and this one here. Go to Indianapolis, Cincinnati, St. Louis, and then Atlanta. People are heading to Des Moines. Let's see. We got 2 more. Well, 3 more. St. Louis, Cincinnati. Alright, that should take care of it. We've got 2 people for Cincinnati. Need to get them back on that plane. Let's see. Oh. Alright then. A lot of hops for one plane, but it should be good. And the event is over. It should be business as usual now, and oh, those passengers looked very steamed. Let's see if we can get the rest of these passengers picked up. Okay, let's see. Indianapolis, then to St. Louis. A plus. Get that 1 passenger in Cincinnati and bring it to St. Louis, and that should be it for the month. There we go, 15 grand back. That's a pretty good month. Let's see. I think it might be best if we added a place for them to eat. So let's buy the pizza shop. Let's place it up here, and I don't have enough for a juice bar. Well, it may not match the color of the airport, but the soda machine could be very useful too. Let's start the next game. We need to get some, well, we still gotta get the bookstore added to our airport, but that will probably come in later. Alright, do that. And do that. Got ourselves another set of planes on their way. We got 3 people heading for St. Louis. right in the flight path of a money cloud. Nice. Okay, St. Louis, Atlanta, back to St. Louis, then Cincinnati. Okay, we got 2 heading for Cincinnati, but I'll let them grab something to eat and drink before we get going again. Okay, let's see. Okay, we gotta get these 2 down to Indianapolis, then down to Atlanta. Okay, get these 2 Maltese passengers into place. Let's see. Maltese, Cincinnati. Alright, another $750. That is good. Alright. We got 2 heading, 3 heading for Atlanta. Okay. We gotta follow that plane just to help with the passenger numbers. Alright. Now I just have to do is just wait for another plane. I think if we get through this month, I probably might invest in another 737 to keep up with demand. Okay, do that, that, and that. Yeesh, I got so many passengers being picked up. Let's see. Down there, then to St. Louis, then to Indianapolis. Sorry if I wasn't talking much back there. I was trying to figure out how to get these passengers all picked up and brought to their proper destinations. Yeah, I won't be able to get these passengers in. Even if yep, 2 failures. We did not get every passenger out. Oh well. At least we still have some cash, and we can now buy another airplane. About time. Alright, let's try the next month out. Now with 3 planes, we should be able to keep up with demand. Plus, since this airport has 4 terminals, we can now have 4 airplanes in at once. Alright, send those 2 down to Atlanta. We got 1 to be picked up at Cincinnati, bound for Atlanta. We got some people in Indianapolis to pick up. Let's see. $750, that is good. Let's see. Indianapolis, Atlanta, then Cincinnati, St. Louis, and then Cincinnati again. Okay. You're going down to Cincinnati. are going down to Cincinnati, and then to Atlanta, then to St. Louis. 3 passengers for Atlanta. Head down to Atlanta, then head to St. Louis. Or not. Alright. Cincinnati, Atlanta, and 2 for Des Moines. Let's see, 3 for Indianapolis, and 2 Des Moines. Alright, let's see. Oh, there's some passengers for Chicago, and there's some for St. Louis. Let's see if I can get that money club before it disappears. There we go, another $750 in the bank. Alright. Get these passengers on board their respective flights on their way back to where they live or work, whatever. Go to St. Louis, Indianapolis, and back to St. Louis again. Well, actually, do that. That way I can get the money cloud. I need the extra revenue. Let's see. Put the 3 of them here. Got $700 extra $50. Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and then Des Moines. Passenger on this plane. Head to Des Moines. Go down and pick up this 1 passenger bound for Des Moines, and that should do it for the month. Oh, right, I got 2 passengers for Chicago, and that should do it. 13 grand, not too shabby. Alright, let's see. I think it is actually time to add that bookstore. It's about 10 grand. I guess we could also sell the shelter shop since I don't really need it now. Alright. Buy this bookstore, and now passengers can get something to read while they wait for their flight. Although I just realized I can also bring back the... Oh! I could add the snack machine as well. Alright, that's unlocked. Let's put it on this side. Let's start the next month and get the passengers in. Okay, we got 1 getting their snacks, $2 for a snack, $5 for a book, and $4 for a pizza. Okay, Des Moines, Cincinnati, then to St. Louis. You're flying straight down to Atlanta. Actually, that plane is picking up the passengers from Cincinnati for St. Louis, so... Oh! I'm definitely going down there to pick up those Chicago passengers, but also to get that money. Alright. Got 4 Chicago-bound passengers. Go back down to Cincinnati. I mean Atlanta, to pick up some passengers. Go up here, and then just fly back to Chicago. Let's see, do that, that. Let's see. That, I think we should be able to get the other passengers boarded up for the time being. Okay, let's see. Got 2 people bound for St. Louis. We gotta get those out. Go to Indianapolis, go to Cincinnati, go there, and I'm just gonna make it follow the same route just to make sure we got every passenger picked up on that flight. Yep, good. We got 2 passengers bound for Atlanta. Just have to wait for the plane to fly in. Atlanta, then Cincinnati, then Chicago. Let's see. Please let me get that money. Cloud, I could really use it. Thank you. Alright. Got 1 passenger bound for St. Louis. Might as well load that passenger on. And do the same for the others. Put those 2 on the Atlanta flight. Go up there, back, there, and back. Let's get these passengers back onto their plane and get them back out. Straight to Atlanta and then up to St. Louis. That's the last of the passengers for this month. St. Louis. And then, let's see, Cincinnati and back to Des Moines. Alright. With that being said and done, with the last of these passengers picked up, we should be done with the month, and we might be able to... Whoa, those passengers are not happy. I'm getting them down to Cincinnati immediately. We got a C and minimum satisfaction, but we still made a pretty good amount of money. And I think we actually reached a pretty good ending for today's episode. So, if you had enjoyed this episode of my Let's Play of Now Boarding, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new video uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!